Hello, good morning. Oh, another early morning and an early coffee. You know, I'm always somewhat amazed how YouTube can be a source of information that many can benefit by. But here in the Philippines, there always seems to be an element out there that use it as a weapon. They sort of try and put each other down. You know, we have debt collecting agencies, we have police, we have Interpol, we have all this, the FBI, whatever. And it's their job to pursue or deal with issues of criminality or suggested criminality, fraud, whatever. And to find that channels tend to use it as a format to air their grievances about different individuals, different channels, always sort of amazes me. I mean, we all come here with the idea of making a new start in life, often at the end of our lives, not necessarily at the beginning. Obviously, there are younger generations that are gravitating towards the Philippines because they see it as an opportunity to maybe be like a roaming commentary on living or visiting the Philippines, which is great for promotion of the place as a wonderful destination, even as a tourist. But again, if you come here as a tourist, you must be aware that you're coming to a country that is an emerging economy, an emerging location in the world of finance and every aspect of life that we take for granted in the West. Sure, there's an abundance of beautiful women, smiling faces, karaoke's, barking dogs, cock-a-doodle-doos in the morning. But beyond that, there's something like 7,000 islands to be explored, to be visited. Not all are safe to go, but nevertheless, there's some beautiful beaches, some beautiful walks, hiking areas that, as long as one is safe and has a guide, it should be no problem. Some of you come here to maybe scuba dive. Maybe they've never done that in their life and they want to do a scuba diving course on a recognized one. There are companies out here that you can do that affordably. And why not? As long as you're fit and healthy and you have that desire. But to go back to my point, and that is that we're supposed to be a happy family of individuals that have chosen to come here and to occupy one's daily life, spreading scorn and what would only call alleged behaviour of others across the airwaves of YouTube seems a little bit, I don't know, the word escaped me really. It's just a bit pathetic really, because are you here to do that or are you here to enjoy your time? Like you can have a channel that you dislike my voice, you dislike other people's voices. They really grind at you sometimes. Some of the accents that come out of England, you almost need subtitles. Same with American accents. A lot of it grinds on some people's minds. And if we don't like the content or we just can't hack the voice, you can always turn the voice off and listen to the text. the conversation in text form, the transcript, I think they call it. And sometimes I literally have to do that because I'm interested in what they have to say, but I just can't stand listening to that type of accent. But that's an example of things can irritate you, but you don't need to necessarily not listen. Some channels put out information, some channels give their own personal advice. I mean, if you've got half a dozen children, for instance, by different ladies, okay, what's the difference between that, being a foreigner, and being a Filipino who has fathered numerous children to numerous ladies? Morally, you might say that's wrong. You could have said that maybe both of them have made unwise choices. But when it comes to affection, love, and closeness, these things happen. That's nature. One would only hope that the children at least are getting some financial benefit from the father, or at least an involvement during their lifetime. Myself, I don't even know who my father was. I was adopted, and my mother didn't have my father's name to be even on my birth certificate. Now, you could say that's dreadful, terrible, but that's life, unfortunately. Sure, I could probably do DNA tests and maybe find some distant relative and maybe even get to know who my father was. But we get on with life. My mother, an American lady, married an English guy, and at the age of 8.5, my mother and father split. So I only knew my mum and dad, my adopted parents, for 6 years of my life. The first 2.5 were in care homes for myself, what we used to call orphanages, which was where I was adopted from. But my mother struggled to give us a good life, and I think she really did. When I say she struggled, yes, but also she gave us a very good life. I had a private education. We travelled vastly around Europe as young children, myself and my sister. And I think I don't believe I missed out on anything much in life. Whatever I missed out in with Mum, I gained on my own. And for those that want to point fingers and suggest that people are somehow maybe immoral by doing so, maybe they are, but who are we to judge? As they say, let those that have not sinned cast the first stone. And I don't believe that people who go on YouTube and condemn another person for specific reasons, such as past actions in their lives, should really be using YouTube as a platform to do that. If they believe something has happened and they believe that they have a right to be involved in that person's life to the point of dobbing them in if there is a need to prohibit that person from coming to the Philippines, if there's a need to, ask yourself, why are you doing that? Who are you saving? Who are you avoiding the truth from? Truth being that you probably have a very narrow outlook towards life. People can have pasts that include maybe drug taking, maybe psychiatric issues, maybe violence issues even. But if they've done their time, they've sorted their lives out, and tried to move on and make a better life. Why do we have to step in the way and draw and make conclusions of that person's life? I think that we all have to give everybody a fair go. If somebody wants to be a reformed person and they choose to come to Spain, Italy, England, Australia, even the Philippines, as long as they've broken no laws that the authorities are aware of, then why do we have to focus on them? Why don't we just focus on our own lives, trying to make it better for others? I mean, every day I wake up, I try and think of something that will make my day better and those around me equally. It's just a sad indictment to what can be considered a wonderful opportunity to spread one's thoughts and one's ideas across many, many different venues. So let's focus on sunny days, keeping well nourished, making sure we have lots of water, and being nice to people instead of attacking everybody's flaws. And I can assure you, many of you do have flaws. I'm sure I have. And I'm not ashamed of having made mistakes in the past. We all do make mistakes. I tell people, be careful. Be careful. Don't walk on a building site without a safety hat. Make sure that you have eye protection, shoe protection, noise protection. And what do? Boom. A bit of Rio bar went into just missed my eye. Stitches above my eye. Blood pouring out. But again, we make mistakes. Stupid accidents happen. So, guys, focus on the positive. Try and leave the negativity back wherever you came from. And let's give everybody a fair go, as we say in Australia. Give us all a fair go. Bye now.